Hello and welcome to episode 57 of the Kicking Butt podcast. Today I'm joined by Eimie Webber. Eimie Webber describes herself as a classical and pop singer, songwriter, actor, musician, and more recently, a musical comedian. Hi Eimie.
Hi Brad.
How you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
My pleasure.
I'm looking forward to hearing some of your music. You're doing some music and some comedy, a bit of a mishmash of the two.
Yeah, make them laugh, make them cry.
That's your... Do you make them cry first or do you make them laugh first?
Laugh, then cry, then laugh again.
Cool. Yeah, you need to give them a lift at the end, otherwise they leave depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And
best
to be
way.
honest, that's quite sort of bold of me. I might not make anyone laugh or cry.
So you just make them
Might
cry,
make them sort of
cry.
smirk and then be sort of mildly entertained and then smirk again. Yeah.
I think if you leave a gig mildly entertained, that's better than being unentertained. Unentertained? Is that a word?
Bored, I think you'd call that.
Bored, yeah.
I think I wouldn't do that.
Okay, you're
But
not going to bore people.
saying I'll make people laugh and cry is obviously quite a bold claim. Sorry, Mike.
Who's Mike?
I touched him again. Sorry, not on camera.
It's all right. So you obviously didn't start in musical comedy and writing your own stuff. You originally were in the old classical music scene.
So I always loved performing when I was a kid, and I went to a singing teacher when I was 13. We sort of found her in the village, in the local town. And I did one lesson and she was like, "You've got a great voice, you can come to me, but I teach classical, so you'll have to be an opera singer."
Oh.
And I was just like, okay. I was 13 and I just wanted to have a career on a stage. And I was like, yeah.
That's fine.
So then fast forward to sort of 22, I'd graduated, I'd got my opera degree, and I auditioned for a master's, and the person on the panel was like, you know, "We'll give you a place." She was like, "But I'm not being funny, like, do you actually feel passionately about opera?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And then she was like, "Cool, probably don't do the masters then." And I was like, "Yeah, probably a good idea." And that was a really great sort of turning point conversation.
Had it like always been in the back of your... Like, did it ever occur to you as like, why am I doing this? If it hadn't...
Not really. I know that sounds a bit
Okay.
naive, but I just saw productions and still saw people on stage, and I was in a few productions myself and loved being on stage.
You loved it being all about
Sorry, I'm just...
you.
Yeah.
James, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's trying to be sort of sly.
Was not on. I can't control it from that end, and I know that you'll have a hissy fit later, so I'm just
Okay, that's fine.
Did you hear that?
I have a hissy fit.
I'll have a... There's a bit of sort of bickering between you guys. I think you need to have it out.
Oh, it doesn't matter, James.
Just have a kiss. I think there's tension in the air.
I don't think me and James have ever kissed.
Have you ever not, even when you're drunk?
No.
Have you kissed any of your male friends?
Yeah, I've kissed quite a
Yeah.
lot of them.
Sweet. I like it when mates kiss.
that might be the case for all of the ones that we did yesterday.
Oh, it's fine. There's a sync point, so...
Cool, just keep going as if that never happened. Sorry about that.
I think it was quite funny.
Yeah, I think it kind of added to it.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
like it.
I'll
Like
keep
the way
that
he
in
sort
there.
of popped in. Hello.
So, yeah, you never...
Back to me.
Yeah, all about you. So, yeah, it never occurred to you, like, why am I doing classical music?
Not really. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
Enjoy it. And but I started to realise that I wasn't that passionate about it. And I maybe didn't have as much creative input or control as I wanted to. Of course, then I became SU president, which I'm still famous for in your eyes, no doubt.
Yeah.
You can say no. No, were you not one of my...
Yeah, you were. I think I was in the first year of college when you were... Or maybe second year, I don't know.
Well,
You didn't make that much of an impact on me,
that's
let's
quite
be honest.
harsh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think because you're on the pop course as well.
Yeah.
There was a bit of sort of tension there that I maybe wouldn't represent. This is really boring. Sorry to anyone who
Who's
didn't
not
go
a
to our
part
uni.
So
Basically,
true.
I was the president and I loved it.
You were good at it,
And
to
I
be
had
fair.
to. Well, it was like I was like the student union president, so I was like the little mouthpiece and ear between all the students and all the staff. So I was talking to someone about it the other day. I've got this sort of inherent thing in me. Lots of performers do, where you constantly want to be liked. It's actually quite exhausting. But when I was doing president, it was like all these young students, And I was like, God, I need to sort of appear cool and fun and make them like me and be funny and drink a pint, put on a good party. But then with all the staff, I was like, God, I need to be really eloquent. I need to be sort of good at writing emails. I need to look like I'm diplomatic and sort of politically engaged. And it was really like a dog on an obstacle course, really wagging its tail, that I was working hard, and I really just loved that role. Anyway, I did it for 2 years, and I guess after that is when I really thought, I don't want to do opera.
Okay. So then where did you go from there then?
Then I did quite a lot of teaching.
Okay.
Had a bit of time out from performing, actually.
Okay.
Didn't really write or sing. Didn't like play piano or sing or write for maybe like 3 years. 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, quite weird. And at the time I barely even missed it. Also really strange. I think it was just a time in my life where I was a bit lost, and I was in quite like a stable relationship. And our kind of relationship revolved around like cooking and boozing, and was really happy just to cook and eat delicious things and have a beer for 2 years.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Then I snapped out of it.
And you started doing your own thing.
Yeah, and then I kind of gradually started getting into pop, which was like another turning point, I guess.
So you do your own thing, which is under Eimie, which is Eimie.
Yeah.
So how long has that been a thing for?
Well, I started that in lockdown, really.
Okay.
So actually that's almost skipping ahead, because before that I had, I started like a YouTube channel doing kids songs.
Oh.
Learn to Sing with Eimie and Lola. Check it out if you've got kids and you like
James,
dogs. Yeah.
Pull it up. I want to see.
It's actually quite cute but embarrassing. Yeah, James, if you search Learn to Sing with Eimie and Lola, dog song.
Who's Lola?
She's my dog, but she died.
Oh,
But you're going to see her now. She's really gorgeous.
Did you stop doing it when the dog died?
Just before. I stopped doing it when my views wouldn't surpass sort of 500, because I didn't really know how to market them properly.
Right.
I was like, there must be kids all over the world who don't want a really sort of highly produced, like, hi, boys and girls.
Yeah.
They just want to see, like, not the Bones song, not this. I can't watch the Bones song. It has to be the dog song, James.
Why the dog? What's so special about the dog song?
The dog song, like, it's a sunnier day. The backdrop's a lot better.
Okay.
The Bones song, I'm pretty sure, was before I bought a tripod. And I did a few episodes at my dad's, who lives in the countryside, and I would make him just hold the camera.
Oh, no.
And at the end, he'd be like, can we stop now? Like, I'm freezing. I tried to always do them in one take. I actually really like one take things. A lot of my comedy songs now I do in one take. I think when you've only got one camera, obviously it negates editing, because there's fuck all you can sort of do. Can I swear anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's fuck all you can do with it. Sorry, James. Have you found the dog song? James?
Are you alive, James? You still there?
Oh, sorry. My mic was muted. This one?
I can't see.
No, the screen's gone.
Ain't no dog song
There's
there.
just a lot of beautiful
Nice shells.
photography. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stunning, actually.
So what made you want to do the kids?
Well, I thought I'd be good as like a CBeebies TV presenter.
Yeah, you've got that kind of energy about you, I think.
Thank you. And I think I'm not fake as well.
No, it's quite genuine.
I do work in schools and teach. And I think I'm good with kids without being like a patronising sort of, there's Lola, look at her, all that youth. And
is that you, Eimie?
yeah.
You look so different.
Yeah.
What's changed there?
Well,
The hair?
I used to straighten my hair.
No way.
I'll tell you what, 2 things have changed. I straightened my hair because I thought curls were rubbish.
No, curls are great.
I was on the pill, so maybe a little bit larger.
Mm.
You maybe can't notice that, but...
Oh, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
Did you ever watch, was it Come Outside? And there was like the woman in her plane and she had a dog with her and she'd like fly to different places.
Oh, and the dog wore little like aviation.
Yeah. They're kind of getting that kind of vibe.
I'm
Was
really
that it,
sorry to
James?
say, but I think she died yesterday.
Oh, I thought you meant my dog.
No,
I think she did. I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it on the...
You're joking.
No,
Mm.
I'm not joking.
Well, this is R.I.P. to her.
Oh, what was her name? Do we have her name so we can have a moment of respect? That's really Wow, okay. I mean,
Well,
to be fair, I kind of assumed she was already dead because she was quite old when she was doing it
Yeah,
anyway.
she was an older lady, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, let's not dwell on it too much.
On death.
Death.
A lot of talking about death.
Lola
right now.
died, she died. We don't even know her name, so I don't think we should sort of mourn too much.
No, no. Have you got a...
Not being harsh. Coming across a cold-hearted bitch. But, yeah, have I got a what?
Have you thought about getting another dog since Lola?
Well, it was really a family dog.
Oh, okay, fair.
Linda Barron, R.I.P. to her, and thank you for bringing dogs to our screens. Is that a nice... Do you want to add anything to that?
She was a good woman, we assume, and she entertained children of my age. Well done. Well done, Linda.
R.I.P.
Rest in
Sorry for
peace.
bringing that up. I just thought it was
R.I.P.
quite poignant.
No, that's
yeah.
thank you for informing us, James. Well, anyway,
Anyway, back to life.
back to real life.
Me.
In you
Yeah.
again. So yeah, you were doing the kids.
I was doing them,
thing.
and that kind of got me back into writing. I know they're only kids' songs,
Mm.
but it did sort of get me back into thinking, like, actually, I do like singing and I do
Yeah.
like writing little songs. And then I'd go round to schools and sort of perform them, and all the staff would be like, I had that song stuck in my head for 10 days, you absolute bitch. I'm re-owning that word, by the way, so I can call myself a bitch.
Yeah,
But you can't call me one.
I can't call you a bitch.
No way.
Okay, thank you for
Absolutely
warning.
not.
I do call the guests on this podcast a bitch quite a lot, so thank you for
Not
pre-warning
today.
me. Not this
It's
day.
also International Women's Day today.
Oh, well, definitely cannot call you a bitch on this
No,
day.
it's a sacred day.
Are you doing anything special for International Women's Day?
Well, do you know what? I was actually saying to my friend this morning, it does feel a teeny bit kind of Christmas or birthday vibes.
Okay.
I just feel a tiny bit more special. It's interesting. Maybe like if I was going in a supermarket or somewhere public, I'd catch another woman in the eye.
You
We'd
just
be
sort
like,
of
yeah,
nod.
it's our day. Or maybe I'm catching a man in the eye and thinking, yeah,
It's my day.
it's my day.
Yeah.
Get down. Do what I say.
Oh, you little bastard.
Yeah, don't look at me. Don't not look at me. Stand up, sit down. No, I only do that to dogs.
I hope.
I hope.
I hope.
Yeah. So I started writing kids songs. Then, of course, I joined a band called K's. Well, I
Yes.
founded it with Graham
Yeah.
McCusker, Kaze, kind of rocky, prog rock pop stuff.
Mm.
And that got me really completely back into singing because, yeah. And then that folded and we broke up. It was like start a band when you've got a couple. But we started the band first, then we got together. So I
Yeah.
keep fiddling with that. And it's a dangerous thing to do, but we worked well together. And, you know, he wrote the music, I wrote the lyrics. And then when we broke up, the band ended. And then I was like, why am I writing lyrics? Only lyrics. Like, why don't I write music as well? And I
Yeah.
just sort of thought I wasn't very good. I remember there was a time I wrote a slow song and someone said to me, oh, it's not that good. It's a bit generic. It sort of just sounds like Adele. And at the time I was like, oh, yeah, it's really shit. It sounds like Adele. It's awful. And now looking back, I'm like, God damn, like if you write a song and someone says that sounds like Adele, that's not a bad thing.
No.
It's like-
Who fucking said this to you?
Can't name and shame.
Oh, was it a man? I bet it was
Yeah,
a
it was a
man. For fuck's sake, man. Ugh.
Yeah.
You got to believe in yourself, Eimie,
Well,
and think fuck you to everyone else.
yeah, I
You just got to
know.
like steer your own ship, and like even if it might be shit, but it's better to be authentically shit than being someone else's bitch.
oh, yeah, okay, fair. You had a fair context there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started. Then I did a master's in pop.
Yes.
Is this meant to be the short bit?
It is meant to be the short
This
bit,
is
but
so long.
we're just
But we're nearly at the present. So I did a master's in pop, and then I started writing. And I was like, right, I'm going to make a new name. I'm going to release songs. And now, like I said earlier, I've got like a 40-minute set of just all my own songs with piano, and I can play all the chords without looking in my head.
Was that something you've not been able to? Like, did you learn the piano? You just taught yourself.
I was a
the piano?
singer. Yeah, I've
Oh,
taught
nice.
myself, and like when I sing at gigs and all the musicians don't have charts, you know,
Yeah.
like Alex Deneen, I'm like, oh God, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I just never thought I'd be able to like memorize the chords or know what they were. It sounds really silly. And now I just know them.
You just do it.
But like sort of a year before lockdown, there's no way I would have thought I could ever do that. I'd think I could write like 3 songs and maybe do them with chords.
Yeah.
Actually, I can do like 11 in a row without any chords. Maybe 12.
Whoa.
And I know some people can do
hell.
some people can basically do every song. Some people could hear a song and just do the chords. But anyway, for me, it was an achievement.
That's cool.
Okay, do you want to stop? Is that the end? Thank you for watching, guys. I've been Eimie Webber. This is Brad. See you next time for episode 58.
It's 57.
No.
Oh, no, you're
next
right.
time.
No, you're right. You're right. But okay, seeing as you're
I'm a really good presenter.
seeing as you're so eager to get on with your performance, then you're just completely derailing this podcast. So fine.
Okay,
Fine,
guys,
Eimie.
well, enjoy the performance. I think now's the best time for it.
Amy's doing my job for me. So yeah, you heard her. Enjoy the performance.
Hi, my name's Eimie Webber. I don't have much freelance work on at the moment, so if you have any jobs for me, please let me know. I know to get a job you have to send your CV out. I was told I should make mine stand out from the crowd, so I turned it into a song. Name: Eimie Webber. Qualifications: BA in Emma's email, Eimie Webber cheeky monkey @gmail.com. Things I can do: I can do anything to pay my rent, like writing a song for your event. Could be your wedding, your birthday, your funeral too. How old are you, Brad?
27.
James?
28.
James will have to do. James, do you have any underlying health conditions?
No.
What? Well, you smoke, that'll do. He's a smoker. This is an example of if I was commissioned to write a funeral song for James. Oh, James, he died. The cigarettes finally got to his lungs and then that was too fast, so I'm going to do an impression of like a slow, bit more heartfelt. Okay. James Paul, R.I.P. He was only 28 and he died the other day. We told him smoking was bad for his health, but now we're crying at his funeral and we miss him very much. Oh, James, R.I.P. to you, and maybe one day I'll see you in heaven. That got a bit slow and a bit too good, actually. You want it upbeat, well, there's more I can do. I can add a kick and a snare drum too. You want a bass line, I'll add that for you. I'll keep going even if the music stops. I've got a clean driver's license, I've no beef with the cops. And my DBS proves that I'm not a perv, so I can teach kids if you'd like to observe. Are you ready, boys?
Yeah.
Do, re, mi, your turn.
Do, re, mi.
Oh dear, some children weren't trying very hard. Can we do it again?
Yeah.
Do, re, mi, your turn.
Do, re, mi.
Referee.
Referee.
That's it, I am going to need a referee for my CV. Brad, I believe we worked together before when we were dancing on ice partners in the village where we used to live.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
What would you say about my professionalism that I could add to my CV, please?
Very compassionate.
Wow. I've got an opera degree that's never been useful. Oh, I've got Spotify and Apple Music, which means I could be a DJ for your events. I'm cycling proficient and I speak Japanese. Kono uta watashi ga daisuki da yo. I got my 50-meter badge and my bronze DOV and a B in my food tech GCSE. I hope it's pretty clear that I can sing, so please give me your number if you're hiring. If you're hiring, if you're okay, I want you to sing along with me. Maybe not actually, guys, you might ruin it. Sing it with me, come on. Please give her a job. Sing it. Please give her a job. R.I.P. to James. Please give me a job. Yeah, last one. Give her a job. Thank you. So as you can tell, I'm looking for freelance work. I thought today, as well as showing you my CV, I could show you something I think I'd be really good at. I think because my voice is quite clear, I'd make a fantastic sort of motivational speaker, maybe like an activist sort of on a podium. So I just wanted to use this platform to send you out with a serious message. Deforestation, CO2, plastics are happening all over the world right now. The polar bears are having to flee so far south that they are damaging the Great Barrier Reef with their giant claws and their bleach blonde hair. Overpopulation means that the queues for the women's toilets at the Bridgewater Hall in the interval are getting longer and longer. We cannot go on. Something needs to change, but maybe the answer is in the name. Maybe it's the climate that just needs to change. The climate needs to change. It always wants to stay the same. Well, maybe politicians should debate and vote someone in who can negotiate with the climate. Vegans, vegetarians, greenhouse gassing, emissions. The sea level is rising. The fish are being overfishing. And can we blame that on the polar bears too? Well, yes, probably, but maybe if the climate weren't so stubborn. The climate needs to change. It always wants to stay the same. The climate needs to change. Thank you very much. Please email me, aimiewebersinger@gmail.com, if you have any work for me. I'm now going to change costumes and entirely change character for some serious music. Please bear with me. Okay, this song is called I Wish. I walk away. I know you're sorry, but I can't stay here. And I'm afraid that you will forget me when you meet her. I wish I knew what you were thinking. I'd throw myself right back into your arms. I wish I knew what you were thinking. I'd run 1,000 miles and not return. I see you out. How I ignore you is a mystery. I wish I knew what you were thinking. I'd run 1,000 miles and not return. I'd run 1,000 miles, run 1,000 miles away from you. I'd run 1,000 miles if you don't still love me too. And I wish I knew what you were thinking. I'd throw myself right back into your arms. I wish I knew what you were thinking. I'd run 1,000 miles and not return.
Yeah. Woo.
Thank you. I always smile when I finish a song, even if it's like a bit sad. Okay, this next song is called I Found Her. And embarrassingly, maybe it's not embarrassing, but it's like one of the first songs I've written that isn't about me in relation to someone else. Yeah. I packed my bags and cast my eye across the empty room, the room that saw no one else. And it felt so odd without my book and slippers on the floor, the four walls where I felt myself. I thought I'd be lonely, but with me's not alone. I found her, she was happy, running around the park, breathing in the freezing air, those bed sheets that held me nighttime by myself. Maybe I am all I need, away from socializing any tension that I feed off. My lightness was peculiar, and I felt proud of my mind and legs and what I had achieved there. I thought that's not familiar. I thought I was lonely, but with me's not alone. I found her, she was happy, stealing laughs again, feeling nervous in the wings, those bed sheets that held me nighttime by myself. Maybe I am all I need. Maybe I am all that I need. Maybe I am all that I need. Maybe I am all that I need.
Yeah. Woo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eimie. So, where can people find you online?
So those two songs, Eimie Music, Eimie. I had to do a weird spelling because there's loads of people called Eimie. So Eimie Music on socials, or just Eimie on Spotify. Then Eimie Webber Comedian is my other thing. Or go to my website, which has everything in it. And it's actually sort of overpopulated with things I do. Jack of all trades, master of none. So that's just aimiewebber.co.uk. And my Instagram's Eimie Webber Singer. Add all three of my accounts. You can't add the fourth because it's private.
Thanks, Eimie.
Thanks. And there you have it, a wonderful performance from our guest today, Eimie Webber. Now, back to the questions. What else would you like to ask me, Brad?
Well, I was going to ask you. I was actually going to ask you about the songs that you performed, what they're about, how they came to be, all that sort of thing. So, take the show away.
I'd love to talk about that.
Go on, talk more about yourself.
So, the CV song was born out of lockdown. Obviously, most creatives didn't have any work. And I wanted to get some more work, like writing. So I just thought it'd be funny to release a CV, but as a song.
Yeah.
And it's half a joke and half real. And I've actually got a couple of commissions from it. I wrote a song for a mortgage advisor quite recently.
Oh.
105-star reviews. Jamie Thompson is working hard for you. Sit down and listen to the things he can do while I sing you through his Google reviews. Like that.
Nice.
You can't really get a sense of it without any of the production.
No,
But,
I like the...
shout out to Jamie Thompson, actually a really great mortgage advisor. Great
good
guy.
To know. Good to know.
He wanted a song. It was quite funny. Anyway, so I did the CV song. It was just like a YouTube video and I put it on Facebook and then it got like 200 shares, which is like the most I've ever had.
Well done.
Closest to viral I'm going to get anytime soon. And so now I do that song live. Obviously, you just watched it. You watched it at home. And the joke just goes. It just carries. I've never done a gig where that song hasn't gone down well.
It's great.
It's really funny. I didn't think it was that funny, but it goes down well, so that's good.
Yeah. What more do you want?
Yeah.
So then the second tune, another comedic
Tune.
one.
Oh yeah, the climate change. That's just a silly song to
Very
end my
silly.
set.
Yeah.
And I did a gig the other day in London where I live. I told you that I live in London.
You've mentioned about 10
I live in
times.
London.
Yeah, we get it. You're a London person.
I just love going to a cafe in London, sort of scribbling some lyrics, walking through the park, cycling. Of course I cycle. Of course I've got a bike.
Well, it's a sensible way to get around.
Well, it is. It's a lot cheaper. And as someone said to me, it shrinks the city because you get to know where everything is. And you sort of somewhere to somewhere is, instead of being like two different tubes and a bit of a track, is like, oh, it's a 21-minute cycle. Funny though, because when I used to live in Manchester, I'd go from like city centre to Didsbury. What is that? 22 minutes?
What, on a bike?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
20. And I'd be like, oh, that's quite far. And now if I cycle over to my sister's for lunch, it's a 50-minute cycle. The other day I commuted to a school for some teaching, an hour and a half.
On a bike?
In the rain.
But there is something about, like, because I used to do the old cycling around the place.
Yeah.
And, like, when you get absolutely piss wet through,
Yeah.
there's that point where you just go past that, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And then it's quite enjoyable
Yeah.
being, apart from when you get there, and then you've got to, have you got all, like, the Lycra shit?
Not that much, no.
No.
I've got a Provis jacket.
And a helmet, I hope.
You know Provis?
What's Provis?
See, it's all over London. It's this new brand. Maybe if they want to get me to sort of pay me some money and I'll sponsor them. No, wait, they'd sponsor. Oh, I don't know how that works.
They could sponsor the podcast.
They could sponsor the podcast.
They could sponsor
Provis,
this
podcast.
Yeah.
They're high vis, and it's just like it's nothing like you've ever seen before. It's sort of silver, and when there's a car or even you put a torch on it, it reflects like whoa. Anyway, they are relatively expensive, £100, but that's definitely what my life is worth. So I've got one of those. So I don't wear Lycra, but I do wear that highly visible jacket.
Okay.
So it's kind of safety before, oh shit, my like pants and undertop's wet. Not that bothered about that.
And a helmet?
Sweat.
You got a helmet?
Always a helmet.
Good.
My
Good.
flatmates don't wear one, and like they do look cool. They go really fast, but it's just not safe. I don't
Cycling-
trust anyone.
Cycling isn't about being cool.
No, it's
Let's
not.
be honest. And you're not cool when your head's split in half.
Unless you've got like a really sick outfit on. And the trainers are just completely unscuffed and they're like brand new sort of Nikes. You could be cool.
It might be quite
Not that
cool.
cool. Anyway, I've gone off on one about cycling. London. I live in London now. The CV. Oh yeah, I did that climate change talk, and just like I couldn't even say it because the audience were laughing so much. Because if I do like a longer set, like 15 minutes or something, by that time they know that I'm like a complete joker.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I do this thing and I put the music on and then I'm like, deforestation, CO2. And it just makes people crack up. And then it makes me laugh. There was just one man in the front row just sort of crying of laughter, like really loudly. And it made me think, actually, I am really funny right now.
Yeah.
And then it just made me laugh.
It's a great thing to be able to make people laugh. You've made me laugh quite a few times.
Thank you.
You know, you've been trying.
Thanks.
Or are you trying? I don't know.
I'm trying, yeah. It's all part of the plan to make people like me because laughter is a high currency.
Ah, I see. Have you ever watched Reggie Watts?
Yes.
Like in terms of like musical comedy, I think he's one of my favourites of all time.
He's really talented and really clever. Yeah.
We've seen that like TED Talk one that he
Yeah.
does. Just great.
Yeah.
You should ever thought about doing the old looping things or anything like that?
Well, people do them already. And he
been
does
done.
them. Yeah.
He does it really well.
Not that I'm being completely original, but yeah, I probably wouldn't pull it off as well as he does. And I really try and take inspiration from other musicians and comedians, but I never like doing things that have been done. Like someone the other day was like, you should do like improvised comedy and take suggestions from the audience and make a song because you'd be good. And I was like, thanks. Like I possibly would be good, but it's so been done.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I really hate the idea of people being like, oh, you did what she does or he does. Sorry, little.
Ugh.
If I was sort of at home, I would have really made
Gone out
that.
for that.
But
Not here.
Not here.
Not
It's
here.
too polite.
No. So what's your approach? Like, how do you like write a comedy thing?
Well, I'm trying to write one at the moment. I've got really bad writer's block. So come up with a concept, come up with some bullet points, sort of make a note of like things, make some notes, bullet points. Then write all the lyrics, get everything rhyming, then put music to it.
Okay.
Then make it a full song, like the CV song was. Then I think of bits where I can chop up the song and stop and either talk or go back to just voice and piano, or like so in the CV song, it's kind of like stop, start. Because again, I don't want to be a musical comedian anyway, who just sings like a song, like the climate change song actually, but that's only 2 minutes long. But if you just sing one song and then you sing a whole nother song, I think that's a bit boring. So I like to chop it up with spoken bits and audience participation.
Did you think comedy was ever a thing that you would do?
No.
It's just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Of its own volition.
Yeah. And it makes sense. It does make sense to me now. And I think often when people meet me, I'll say I'm a musician. And then if it comes up, I'll be like, oh, I also do comedy. And then people are like, oh, I can really imagine you doing that.
Interesting.
And I'm like, thanks.
Wow. So have you got anything, what have you got coming up at the moment?
I've got some gigs this month in London,
Well,
where I live. No, I've actually got some tonight in Manchester.
Okay. Well, when this airs, though, this will be long gone.
Fuck. Well, I will probably be going to Edinburgh Fringe in August.
Didn't you do a part on a show or something there, like a while ago or something?
No, I went up and did spots.
Okay.
So you can either put on your own show or you do what's called open spots, where you sort of contact loads of people who already have shows or cabaret nights or and you sort of have to lick their ass on social media and then hope that they might give you like a 5 or 10 minute spot. So you kind of jump on other people's nights.
Okay.
So I might go and do that for a couple of weeks. Or if I get a spot, I'm going to take my own show up because I've got my own one-woman show.
Have you?
Yeah, which is another thing. Apart from having my little 40-minute set of music that I never thought I'd be able to write and know the chords and lyrics off by heart, is during lockdown, I started with the CV song and then I wrote some more and then stitched them all together. The whole show's about not having enough freelance work, which is true. I want more, but I maybe just I've not quite found my like absolute specialism yet.
Sure.
In a lot of fields, it's like, they'd be better than me. But when you want a sort of ex-opera singer, pop singer who's good at writing and funny and can maybe move and act a bit.
You give you the call. Give Eimie the call.
I get the call, that's right, but it happens very rarely. So I might go to Edinburgh. So
Cool.
maybe that's... But obviously just follow me on my socials and you'll find out the best gigs to come to near you. I hope you do like horrible zoom ins on these bit where I'm trying to look at the camera.
We're definitely going to be doing that now.
Yeah.
Now that you've said that.
Yeah.
And what are your socials?
My dreams.
What are your dreams? Yeah. What would you want to do?
Well, I've already said my socials, haven't I? Remember when we did the film?
I know, but it's good to we'll do it.
Put them on the screen or something, eh?
Yeah, more work for me. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, come on. One little lazy. Eimie Webber comedian, Eimie Webber singer, Eimie Webber sop on Instagram. Don't even ask. Soprano, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are my dreams? So thanks for asking, Brad. My dreams are to be paid to be Eimie Webber. That's like my dream.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether I'm sort of, I'd love to appear on Have I Got News For You? Obviously, like TV panel shows, 8 out of 10 cats, that kind of stuff. I'd maybe appear I'd write a song for the end of the show, but then they'd be like, actually, she's quite good. Why don't we get her on the panel? And it's a good time for women in comedy.
Yeah.
Because comedy is massively trying to diversify, and aside from, all areas in which it needs to diversify, also just quite behind with the basic, which is gender. So I'm seeing a lot of places now being more aware of their lineups, and yeah.
Do you do a lot of like open mics and stuff like that, or is that not really? Like, how do you like break a comedy? How do you break into the comedy circuit? Because I guess your thing is quite unique in a way. Like you wouldn't.
Thanks for noticing.
That's all right. Do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't just like get up on. Well, maybe you would, but on just like an open mic comedy thing. I don't know. How do you break that scene with what you're doing?
So you start with open mics. And then you do a few competitions and get some sort of accolades.
Okay.
So like I was shortlisted for this year's BBC New Comedy Awards.
Ooh.
And also last year I won the Musical Comedy Awards audience favourite. So once you get little things like that, and like I've got a few quotes from people, then you email, a lot of it's on Instagram, but also email, and you're like, hey, I've seen you're doing that night, can I have a spot? And they either say yes or they don't reply. And you get a 5-minute spot usually, sometimes 10 minutes.
5 minutes? That's hard.
It's really, really different to the music world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always think it's so funny when I'm talking to musician friends about it, and then I'm like, oh, well, don't worry coming too much because it's a 7-minute slot. And they're like, 7 minutes? Yeah, at least it's not 5. But when you start getting sort of 10s and 15s, that's normally when you're more like a headliner.
That's the big time.
So that's the big time. And you might get paid, anything from 20 to sort of £50.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But then when you get really big time, obviously you get
like £100.
Yeah. One time I got 200 for 20 minutes. And I was like, that's £1 a minute.
That's not bad.
Is it?
Wait, is it £1 a minute? £200 for 20.
No, it's £10.
It's £10 a minute. You got even more.
That's incredible. £10 a minute. Imagine that.
I know.
We would have, if this podcast was £10 a minute, think how much we would have made.
Man.
Well, you'd be really rich, the amount of hours you've sat there.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't even know what to do with all that money.
£10 a minute. Since I've been talking about this, we're probably already at £5.
Yeah.
2 burgers, please. James.
Get the
Nip
Mackies,
to the
mate.
shop, will you?
James isn't even...
No comment. He's not listening.
He's not... You know how he said before...
I was listening.
Oh.
I was.
Fiercely twisting knobs.
To reciprocate. I was actually thinking about... Because one of the things that you've done the Frog and Bucket, haven't you? The Beat the Frog.
Yeah.
And that's quite a good night especially for people trying out new material or new to the scene. Because I've been to a couple of those. Yeah,
they're a good night, aren't they?
Yeah, they are good.
I did it last night.
Some of them are so awkward.
I went to one the other week.
Do you know the concept?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you watching at home who don't know Frog and Bucket or the concept of a gong show, there's like 3 people in the audience who get given an object, a card, or sometimes it's a massive dildo in London. London, what you like?
London.
And if the person on stage is sort of bombing, the audience get to sort of gong or boo them off. It can be a bit cutthroat.
Yeah.
And like you say, James, it's just really awkward because it takes so much confidence to get on stage. But something I've noticed that is quite interesting is often the women who get up make it through.
Okay.
Nearly all the times I see someone get gonged off, it's a man. And I don't think that's because people feel sorry for the women. I just think it takes like, you know, double or even more the amount of confidence to do it as a woman in a space where most of the, like 80% of the lineup will be a man. The compere is normally a man. If there's a panel of judges, it's normally male heavy. The audience can be quite male heavy. Well, the audience are probably quite mixed, but so actually you tend to get more when you get sort of deluded people who just aren't funny at all, who obviously haven't shown any of their friends and don't even have a sort of like a voice that's like, maybe you're not that funny. They just don't have that voice.
Yeah,
they're the ones where it's
believe
really
themselves.
cringe, and they're often not women because I think women maybe have that voice a bit stronger that's like, you're not funny. Like even I had it yesterday night and then I won. Did you know I did it yesterday, James?
No.
And I won.
What would you win?
I did not know.
Yeah, so I've done it a few times, but this was my first time this year. You get a slot at one of their weekend shows. So there's people paying to see someone famous, and you will do probably an 8-minute, 7, 8, 10 minutes kind of slot at the top of the show and hopefully get some new followers, basically.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
I guess there is a thing to be said about, like, because I've watched a lot of podcasts and stuff with comedians, and they all talk about how much they've bombed in the past, like, and how I guess it's kind of the musician equivalent is doing a gig and no one fucking turning up.
Yeah.
But it's important though, because I think there's
painful, isn't it, that?
Yeah, but I guess because it's purely yourself, I guess it's more, you can take it more personally doing comedy, I guess. Because it is just you as well. Do you know what I mean? There's no...
It's literally me
mic.
being myself as well. It's sort of like me and my talent and my personality. It's quite raw. But without sounding like a sort of cocky cow, to be honest, I normally go down quite well.
Yeah.
I do actually always go down pretty
You've
well.
not bombed hard then?
Not really, but sometimes audiences are a bit quieter. And then I always come away and I'm like, do you know what? Wasn't my crowd.
Yeah.
Because then like last night at Frog and Bucket, I don't know what the capacity is, maybe like 200.
Yeah, I'd say something about that, yeah.
They were like, at the end, the 5 of us that got through, you have a clap off, so everyone has to cheer for the person they want.
Right.
And honestly, when the compere, who's a woman, Hayley, she's great, she was like, Eimie Webber, and I stood forward. And the crowd were like, literally, because they actually measure the decibels, so they have to be really loud.
Yeah.
People were literally like scream, like I could see people in the front row who absolute strangers, just like screaming their heads off because they wanted me to win. It's a really nice feeling. And then I won. But that was going somewhere else. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So when I do things like that, I'm like, this is my crowd. They get my song. They like my personality. And there are some gigs where they maybe just don't find me that funny and they don't find me very endearing because it's a total, like, I think with comedy, way more than music, you have to be sort of talented and clever to an extent. But then you also have to be like a complete fool. You have to completely embarrass yourself. You have to be awkward and you have to be like vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like quite a nice balance. And sometimes people only see that kind of like confident Eimie and just sort of assume they don't like her. Or they just don't like my energy, which is absolutely fine.
It's fine.
But a lot of people do. So fuck you if you don't. No, it's fine.
I would not want to be on the receiving end of that stare.
Yeah, there's someone at home now who is sort of already thinking, this episode, I don't really like this woman. And then I said that, and then that's it. It's off. Switch off. Comments. Can you imagine?
Imagine comments on our videos. Whoa.
Hate mail. No, I mean horrible comments. Do you get horrible comments?
No, everyone's very nice.
Okay.
A lot of the time.
That's good.
I don't think we've had any bad comments. Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to be the first.
Watching you.
You're going to be the catalyst at the end of this podcast, aren't you? It's all downhill from here, Eimie.
An online storm.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Okay.
You're doing great, though.
Thank
You're
you.
doing great. So,
Just to
go on, James.
Remind you didn't actually go back to your songwriting songs.
Oh yeah. Should we? Let's. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
I
on.
don't know if you were doing that on purpose or
No.
if you were.
No, we
you
just
like
we went off on a tangent,
yeah,
didn't
I
we?
just wanted to remind you.
Thank you, James.
Thanks, James. Such a great guy.
Yeah. What would you do without him?
I've got this under control.
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Well done. So yeah, go on. Tell us about them.
All right. Absolutely ungrateful dick. Well, I will tell you, yeah. So I had this thing where I'd write little songs in my room or in a studio. I started doing my masters in pop, and I'd written a couple of songs, and I just sang them to myself because I thought they were like cringy, generic, self-indulgent love songs, I'm sad songs. Chords held for a whole bar because I didn't know what other rhythms to play. Chords with only now actually I play octaves in my left. Do you know what I mean then?
Big
That was
game.
like a big changer for me. And I was like, how have I not been doing? I can't do it on that piano. So you guys at home probably think I can only play, but I actually can. Anyway, so just gradually, after showing my songs to different people, making friends with, noticing, taking an interest in more female writers, I began to see writing as like something I could do instead of something that was just really I was not good at. And it was like a complete brain shift. And I think it's a really important conversation around representation. When you don't see yourself represented doing something, it's really hard to believe you'd be good at it.
Sure, yeah.
So like going for student union president, I went for it in my 4th year when there was a female president. And before then there were 3 males. And I'd never even looked at the president and thought, that's a job for me, or I'd love that job. And then as soon as Dee Dee did it, I was like, that job looks really fun. Maybe I should apply. And it just switched. It wasn't that I thought I can't do it because a man's doing it, but it's completely subconscious. And I think the writing was the same. You know, when I was in K's, I loved it, but I saw Graham writing. I saw him using Logic. I saw him playing the piano. I saw him doing arrangements. I saw him talking to the drummer about technical words I didn't understand. And all of that just made me go, I can't do this. 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 And then I realised that I could. And it was like, it was a really powerful moment, and I'm sort of trying to bring that into my psyche a lot because obviously I can, you know, relate to not being represented as a woman, but obviously I'm a white woman and I'm cis and I'm heterosexual. So like I'm trying to bring more awareness into that now of, how we can sort of change our climate in general, not just in the arts, but in all jobs. And like, unless you see yourself represented, it's really hard to believe you can do it. And so when you think about not being white or not being able-bodied or not being straight, you know, like we all are, it's like, it's difficult.
It is difficult.
To believe in yourself or find, or have yourself seen, seeing people who look like you, smashing it, you know. So I was really lucky to do the masters and, you know, have female staff and friends around me. And then I wrote loads of songs. And then I was like, I can't perform these because my piano's too bad. It's too basic. And then I was like, I can't let it stop me. So I did those songs. I felt a bit like, I can hear the beat in my head. And I wanted to sort of show the beat with my hands, but I didn't dare because I thought, well, it would just be too much. So those are those songs, and I wrote them all in lockdown and since.
So you still do some writing?
Yeah.
And are you going to be? What's your plan with that? Are you going to be putting them out, or are you just?
I don't know. I'd like to. I'd really like to release an EP that's just me and piano, and that sort of says something like the title, which I've already thought of, is like maybe slow songs suit me after all, because I don't listen to a lot of slow music. I never listen to Adele, but actually the kind of songs I write when I'm at the piano and I'm trying to express emotions.
Oh,
just
emotions!
Like piano and voice.
Yeah.
The music I listen to is a lot more like produced stuff, and so there's always this tendency that I'm like, I should write something that I like listening to. But actually, I think with my kind of voice, I do just suit sort of slow, heartfelt songs. So maybe I will release an EP, but I want to find a producer.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
People to work with. Same with the comedy. Like I have a couple of mentors who I like have like phone calls with every now and then. One of whom I pay, a couple of whom I just sort of do it to be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm, you know, I don't have a producer, I don't have a director, I don't have a tech person. And it's the same with my songwriting. So I need to find people to build around me because it gets a bit exhausting doing it all on my own. And
Yeah. You need a fresh pair of ears. on
Yeah.
things and a different perspective.
Well, like you two, like because you run this together.
Mm.
It is good doing things together.
Yeah.
You gain stuff. Don't pretend.
I'm
you're annoyed with
joking.
him.
It's a joke.
Zoom into that acting later, by the way.
Yeah.
Zoom into his face there because you did do a bit of acting.
I did, yeah.
it's
I've always
quite-
wanted to try a bit of acting.
Yeah.
But I'd never, I always used to, like, when I was a kid, I'd always be, like, pretending to be, like, scenarios in my head and sort of...
Would you act them out?
Uh,
Mirror.
no, I would never do that. I would mainly just be the sort of the voices of it and how I think the sort of dialogue of it or whatever would go.
But you didn't do it out loud.
No, I did do it out loud.
Oh, okay.
So I'd often be like whittering to myself, and then someone would be like, "What?" And then I'd just be like, "Oh no, nothing."
Yeah, that's really cute.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
No, I think everyone does that.
Yeah.
I did that till I was quite old. When we'd go on family walks, I'd walk at the back because I'd be talking to myself, being sort of various characters. Then my sister, who's 4 years younger than me,
Yeah.
4 years younger, would like shout back and be like, "Eimie, hurry up, stop hanging at the back playing imaginary games," and sort of look down on me.
Ooh.
Coming from, I mean, I was probably like 12 and she was 8. And it's like, God, coming from an 8-year-old, she still does it now. I started this new little character on my Instagram called Felicity.
Right.
And I showed her this video that I thought was quite funny. And then May was like, "It's not really that funny. It's kind of cringy because it's basically you." And I bought a top a while ago. Oh, this was ages ago. I bought a top and it was stripy and I quite liked it. And I was like, "Do you like it?" And she was like, "It's a little bit Primark." I think just because she's younger, it really hurts.
Also,
She won't be watching this. She's a bitch. There's no way she'd watch it.
I was gonna call her,
No, you can't call
but
her.
I can't. So I'm glad that you did because it
Say-
sounds like she is.
Jealous sister. She's not even jealous. She couldn't give a shit that I do performing. She really doesn't like performing herself. It's quite funny.
She just likes to give you a little kick.
Yeah, every now and then. Anyway, we are best mates and she does support me. But I felt like there was a little good story there. Can't remember it.
Can't have been that good.
Right, that's it.
You're done. You're done.
Thanks for watching, everyone. That's the end of our... No, is it?
No, it's not the end. But
Do you have a time limit?
Yeah, no.
They are always-
we've just reached
right.
it. Yeah, I do actually have one more question before we wrap this up,
Okay.
Eimie. If you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, what would it be?
Tantalising.
Oh, okay.
Compassionate.
Yeah.
You said that to me on my CV.
Oh, I did.
That's
I
called
did
a
say that.
recall when you recall to a previous joke.
Well done.
Only works with people who are really switched on. Tantalising was also a bit of a joke, to be honest.
Well, you said it now.
Okay.
You've committed.
Okay, fine. Enjoyable.
Yeah, it has been fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a guest that's made me laugh that much, so you're clearly doing your job right.
Probably a lie. I've seen you laugh quite a lot
Yeah.
in other people's.
Well, yeah.
He's lying to me.
Sorry, everyone at home.
Oh. Yeah, thanks everybody. Oh yeah, my Felicity character. That's what I was going to say.
Go on.
So I've
quickly.
started doing. Okay. Okay, Dad. Like, can you give me a lift? Yes, quickly. She's like basically kind of posh but funky. Do you know the word funky?
I do know the word funky, yes.
Do you know what it means?
What does
To me, funky's
Go on.
like, instead of saying like, "Hey Brad," someone funky would be like, "Hello Brad," or they'd be like, instead of just sipping water, they'd be like, "Oh, H2O."
So a bit simple then.
I don't know if you can say that word, to be honest. Can you say that word?
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the
Let's
most
skim
PC
over
thing.
that.
Yeah, we'll just
Maybe
go with that.
just someone who's a bit.
Quirky.
I don't know.
Quirky.
Yeah, maybe quirky.
Yes. I
So
get
anyway,
you.
Felicity's like, "Hi guys, it's me. Thank you for what." So maybe shall I sign off as Felicity? Are we actually at the end?
We are at the end. So
Do you
what-
want to sign off, seeing as it's your podcast?
Well, no, I'll let you do
I'm
the.
getting daggers through your eyes.
No, you do the Felicity. You sign off.
Okay.
But you need to tell them where they can find, like, Rec Rooms or the YouTube. You just do it.
Okay.
Just do it.
Wait, so Rec Rooms it's just at Rec Rooms on Instagram?
Yeah.
What about...
And we do a different podcast every week.
Okay.
All that shit. I'll just let you do it.
The person who didn't like me already is going to hate me now because this character's awful. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hi guys, it's me, Felicity. I've been here today with the Rec Room boys. We've had such a fun time and I think they've absolutely loved finding out more about me. Anyway, if you want to know more about them and some of the fantastic other artists that they also get on, you can look at Rec Rooms on YouTube or at Rec Rooms on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me and have a smashy-washy day. Bye, guys. Oh, it makes me...
I want to smash your face.
Can't do it for very long. It's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, God.
But I do get new followers from releasing videos like that who see the irony in it.
Okay, well, maybe you've given us a little boost there, so thanks,
It's
Eimie.
painful to do.
Yeah.
Sorry you had
Let's
to
not do it
watch.
again.
Yeah.
It's okay. But
Thank you.
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been really fun. Thank you.
I've
for having
enjoyed
me.
it.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, James, at the back as well, of course. Go and follow Eimie on all the social things that she mentioned previously. She does some great comedy work, great music work, and other things. Go to her website, tells you all about it. What's the website again?
www.amiewebber.co.uk.
Bang. There you go.
Easy.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back again next week with another artist. We'll see you again soon. Bye. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to catch up on new episodes every week. Also, check us out on our Facebook and Instagram at Rec Rooms, where you can find out about our other exciting music series. We also have this and all our other episodes of the podcast up on our Rec Rooms YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. See you next time.